Deep in the heart of the countryside lies a place shrouded in mystery and fear, the Whispering Woods. Locals speak of it in hushed tones, their eyes darting around as if afraid to attract its attention. Legend has it the woods are cursed. They say the trees whisper secrets, dark secrets, secrets of the lost and the forgotten. Those who dare enter often lose their way. Some say the woods shift and change, disorienting travelers. Others believe something more sinister lurks within, something that preys on the fear of those who trespass. The wind carries a chill as it rustles through the leaves. Whispers seem to dance on the breeze. Are they warnings or invitations? One thing is certain, the Whispering Woods hold an ancient power, a power that both terrifies and beckons the curious soul.
The woods were not always a place of fear and sorrow. Legend tells of a small village nestled among the ancient trees, a peaceful community that lived in perfect harmony with nature. But their tranquility was shattered by an unknown and sinister force. One by one, villagers began to mysteriously disappear, their fates unknown. Some whispered of a deadly plague. Others spoke of a malevolent spirit. The village priest claimed the woods themselves were turning against them. Panic spread like wildfire. The remaining villagers abandoned their beloved homes. They fled, seeking refuge from the unseen terror that relentlessly stalked them. The village fell into ruin, slowly reclaimed by the forest. All that remains are crumbling stone foundations and the whispers of a tragedy long past.
Over the years, countless souls have ventured into the Whispering Woods, drawn by curiosity or a thirst for adventure. Many were never seen again. Their disappearances remain unsolved mysteries, fueling the legends and deepening the woods' sinister reputation. Some stories speak of hikers straying from the path, their calls for help swallowed by the dense undergrowth. Others tell of experienced trackers vanishing without a trace, leaving behind only their abandoned gear. The locals whisper of a young couple who wandered into the woods, madly in love. They sought a secluded spot for a romantic picnic. Only their picnic basket was ever found, its contents scattered and undisturbed, as if abandoned in haste. Their fate remains a haunting reminder of the wood's unforgiving nature.
While many have vanished within the wood's shadowy embrace, a fortunate few have emerged from its depths. Their tales, often fragmented and tinged with terror, offer glimpses into the wood's true nature. One survivor spoke of an oppressive silence that descended upon him. He claimed the air grew heavy, making it difficult to breathe, as if an unseen force were pressing down on him. He described feeling watched, followed by something he couldn't see but could sense lurking just beyond the trees. Another told of hearing his name whispered on the wind. The voice, he claimed, was not human. It was cold, ancient, and filled with a malice that chilled him to his core. He fled in terror, the whispers chasing him to the very edge of the woods.
Section 5. A Journey into the Unknown, a Personal Exploration. Intrigued by the tales and driven by a thirst for the unknown, I decided to experience the Whispering Woods for myself. The stories I had heard painted a picture of a place both enchanting and foreboding, a realm where reality and myth intertwined. Armed with a compass, a map, and a healthy dose of trepidation, I stepped across the threshold, leaving behind the familiar world of sunlight and reason. Each step felt like a journey into another world, a world where the rules of nature seemed to bend and twist. The air grew noticeably cooler as I ventured deeper into the woods. The temperature drop was almost immediate, as if the forest itself was a living entity, breathing a cold, ancient breath. The sunlight struggled to penetrate the dense canopy, casting long, eerie shadows that danced and shifted with the slightest breeze. These shadows seemed to have a life of their own, creating an ever-changing mosaic of light and dark. The forest floor was a tapestry of decaying leaves and gnarled roots, a testament to the wood's age and untamed power. Each step I took was cushioned by the soft, damp earth, adding to the sense of walking through a place untouched by time. A profound silence hung in the air, broken only by the occasional snap of a twig or the rustle of leaves. This silence was almost tangible, wrapping around me like a heavy cloak, making every sound seem amplified and significant. It was a silence that both captivated and unnerved me, amplifying every sound and heightening my senses. Every rustle, every distant call of a bird seemed to carry a hidden meaning, a whisper of the forest's secrets waiting to be uncovered. The deeper I went, the more I felt like an intruder in a world that was both beautiful and terrifying.
Section 6. The Forest Floor, a tapestry of shadows and secrets. As I ventured deeper into the woods, the path beneath my feet grew fainter, almost as if it were being swallowed by the forest itself. The trees pressed closer, their branches intertwining overhead like grasping claws, creating a canopy that blocked out the sky and cast the forest floor into perpetual twilight. The forest floor became a treacherous maze of exposed roots and moss-covered stones, each step a potential hazard that could send me sprawling. Each step I took was deliberate and cautious, fearful of twisting an ankle or losing my footing in the uneven terrain. The silence was oppressive, broken only by the occasional rustle of leaves or the distant call of an unseen bird. The air grew heavy with the scent of damp earth and decaying wood, a pungent aroma that spoke of the cycle of life and death constantly playing out within the forest. It was a reminder of the forest's ancient and unyielding nature. I noticed strange symbols carved into the trunks of some trees, ancient markings that seemed both familiar and utterly alien. They were intricate and detailed, telling stories that I could not fully comprehend. Were they left by the villagers who once called this place home, the remnants of their lives now swallowed by the relentless march of nature? Or were they the work of something else? Something that had been here long before any human had set foot in these woods, something older and far more sinister. The forest seemed to pulse with a life of its own, a dark and ancient presence that watched and waited, its secrets hidden in the shadows.
Despite the lack of any visible threat, a growing sense of unease began to creep over me. The forest, once a place of solace and tranquility, now seemed to harbor an unseen menace. It started as a prickling sensation at the back of my neck, as if I were being watched by unseen eyes. The feeling was subtle at first, almost ignorable, but it grew stronger with each passing moment. The feeling intensified with each step I took, evolving into a palpable sense of dread that settled deep in the pit of my stomach. My mind raced with thoughts of what could be lurking in the shadows, hidden from view but ever present. The hairs on my arms stood on end, and my heart pounded in my chest. Every rustle of leaves, every snap of a twig, sent a jolt of fear through my body. My senses were on high alert, straining to identify the source of my unease. I scanned the darkness, searching for any sign of movement, any hint of what might be out there. The silence of the woods, once captivating, now felt oppressive. It was as if the forest itself was holding its breath, waiting for something to happen, something inevitable and terrifying. As if the very air were holding its breath, waiting for something to happen. The tension was almost tangible, a heavy weight pressing down on me. I couldn't shake the feeling that I was being followed, stalked by something unseen that lurked just beyond the periphery of my vision. Every instinct screamed at me to run, but my legs felt like lead, rooted to the spot by an overwhelming sense of dread. The overwhelming sense of dread finally became too much to bear. Panic welled up inside me, urging me to flee. I turned to retrace my steps, my pace quickening with each stride. The forest floor, once a source of fascination, now seemed to conspire against me. Roots reached out like grasping claws, threatening to trip me. The once familiar path seemed to twist and turn, leading me further into the wood's shadowy embrace. I stumbled and fell, scraping my hands on the rough bark of a fallen tree. Panic threatened to consume me as I struggled to my feet and pressed on. My heart pounded in my ears, drowning out all other sounds. I didn't dare slow down, not even for a moment.
I emerged from the whispering woods breathless and shaken. My clothes were torn, my skin scratched and bleeding, but I had escaped. I had looked into the face of the unknown and lived to tell the tale. As I stumbled back into the sunlight, I couldn't help but look back at the dark, imposing silhouette of the woods. Had it been my imagination? Or had I truly experienced something sinister lurking within its depths? The experience left me with more questions than answers. What had happened to the missing villagers? What was the source of the whispers I had heard? And what was the unseen presence that had filled me with such primal terror?
The Whispering Woods remains a place of mystery, an enigma that continues to fascinate and terrify in equal measure. Its secrets remain hidden, guarded by the ancient trees and the whispers that dance upon the wind. Perhaps some mysteries are not meant to be solved. Perhaps the Whispering Woods serve as a reminder of the vastness of the unknown and the importance of respecting the power of the natural world. But for those who are drawn to the allure of the unknown, the question remains, will you heed the call of the Whispering Woods? Will you dare to venture into its depths and face the secrets that lie hidden within? The choice, dear reader, is yours.